This is Planets and Problems, the astrology hotline by two sisters. I'm Atalia.
I'm Ayesha.
And I'm a Sagittarius.
And I'm a Virgo.
Yes. Please enlighten me with your life.
Yes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My life, what do I have to tell you this week? Oh, okay. Well, so... do you remember, I can't remember how many episodes it was ago, but we were talking about the Kardashians and we were talking about the curse of the Kardashians on men.
Curse.
I don't think I mentioned this last time, that we must have something similar in our family, because whenever I date somebody or get in a relationship with somebody, whenever we split up or it's over, if they have wronged me in any way, their life just goes to shit every time.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point where I've started to notice it and I've started to use it. So this one, I can't really say who this person is at the moment.
Please use some examples.
I'm going to, oh right, okay, so examples of this happening is, first proper boyfriend, basically like left me for one of my friends and then dated my best friend. Got in a full relationship with her, like treated me horribly, led me on for years. You know, I think you know who I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
Taurus, if anyone's interested. Yeah, I don't really fuck with Tauruses. Anyway, only as friends. But he did all that and then got kidney failure.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying to me, I feel like this happened to me because of how I treated you. He genuinely said that to me. Yeah. How weird. Like, that is not something you would even
that was just
think.
the beginning.
That's not even like, why would that come to your head if you got kidney failure?
Yeah,
like,
you wouldn't, unless, but I've never like treated anyone terribly to the point where like I'm thinking about it after. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
no,
if you like, you know, if you've treated someone bad and then you actually start to think about it and then your life goes to shit, you probably would put it together.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've been a bad person, so
like
now
karma.
bad things are happening.
Yeah. So I could list so many examples, but a very, very recent thing is I thought to myself, right, well, if my ancestors are looking out for me like this and, you know, this has been going on for years, there's one person in my life in particular that well, there's two people actually, but one person in my life that's in my daily life in particular that I can't deal with. It's a man. So I think you'll be able to guess who that is.
Mm-hmm.
One day I will 100% say, because we'll go into so much detail about him. But anyway, so he's in my day-to-day life. And I came back into January and I was just like, do you know what? Ancestors, get him. Honestly. And ever since then...
Oh no. You need to be careful.
Okay, yeah, no, but he's not got kidney failure. And I'd never wish physical harm on anyone, but just like stuff at his work have been going wrong. So like, there was like this client meeting and the client was like, I've lost confidence in you and like this and this. And I'm trying not to be too specific. And I was on the call and I was holding in a laugh. And then like other stuff like that this person has said to me, like, oh, and this is happening and this is happening, and basically like just stuff is just like getting like progressively worse, to the point where this person's like actively like stressed and a bit anxious.
You're loving every minute of it.
I'm not loving every minute of it, but I'm just
stressed and anxious with the biggest grin on your face.
No, but what I am saying is treat people kindly, because their ancestors will come for you. Mm-hmm. If they're being like divinely protected, especially if they're spiritual, because that means they've got this direct connection with their ancestors. You want to call it your spirit guides, you want to call it whatever, ancestors, spirit guides, whatever you want to call it. You know, I do have this direct line. I do meditation and I speak to my spirit guides very regularly, and you know, I'll be walking about and speaking to them. So if you've got this direct line with your spirit guides, people need to be careful, because those spirit guides are going to be on the route to protecting you, especially if you are trying to be a good person, and you are, you know, doing everything that you can to be a good person, you're being pure, but not everything in this world is love and light. We know that. Not everything in the astral realm is love and light. You know, there's demons up there as well. You know, there's different things that can impact you. So you can't just expect to treat people however you want and then not get any sort of karmic response. So I thought that was interesting because I felt like this for a while about it, and I thought, is this happening? And then there is another person, I really can't say about this person. There is another person that it's happening to as well. And I didn't say get them, but I was just like, this person's making me feel like this. Like, I am gonna stop their energy from impacting me and push it back. Basically, me saying get them is me stopping their energy, going like, taking a breath and being like, right, the energy, the negative energy that they're giving me, I'm just gonna mirror it straight back to them. And it basically goes
whoosh, like on the Power Rangers or something.
Yep. Push. I mean, that's the way that I'm just saying it is like in a really calm way, but yeah, it just like pushes, goes into them. It's their energy that they gave out in the first place.
It's making me think of I don't even watch it, but the Harry Potter scene with him and Voldemort, and it's like they're against each other, and
yeah,
then, like, all the energy just goes boof.
Yeah. You've not even watched it, but you know that scene.
I could tell you exactly what happened in every movie, but I've never watched it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have to say. And I think, you know, if you're a good person out there and you're being good, then continue. Just remember that, you know, the people that aren't treating you well, they'll get it. They will get it. And if you want, you could have a little helping hand in that by just asking. If you don't want to say get them, because I feel like that might be a bit extreme, you could just be like, ancestors, spirit guides, protect me from this person's energy. That's what you could say.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
But I just don't like messing with it.
It's not about messing with it, because I don't think you have much of a choice. I don't think you have much of a choice. It's automatically tapped into. Because if you're crying in a ball on your sofa and your ancestors stood there like, right, they're all having this little conversation like, look at her. This person's done this. This is what we need to do. Yeah, we need blah, 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 blah. That's going on anyway. So I believe in karma long term. It could come in this life, it could come in another life, it could come in 10 years, karma for something that you've done. So basically you're just speeding that karma up so you can see it, which I think is nice.
Yeah, I would like to see it.
Yeah. And they might actually realise, have some realisations, some life lessons from that.
I think for people that have like wronged me, I think my satisfaction is when, you know, they come back. Because they always come back, and that is you still on their mind when you haven't thought of them in so long. Yeah. And it's like, oh well, look at you. Yeah. Look who's still on your mind, but look who moved on. Yeah. Even after everything. That's how I deal with them. Anyway, here's what I've got for you. Bit different. I just want to tell you about some things that I've learned in the past month that I probably should have already known.
Okay, is it like 2 + 2 = 4?
Pretty much, yeah. So, first one, Dalmatians are real. Didn't know they were real. As in the breed of dog.
Oh no, I did know. No, I knew that.
Right, so that makes me feel better that you had to like think, because I just thought it was in the movie.
What, they just made up a whole name? They've made up, they've invented
I'm not going about life thinking about it every day like, oh, Dalmatian's real or not. It just came to me. Or did I might have seen, no, I didn't see, I don't know what it was, but I was just thinking about it one day. And I'm like, that is actually like a real dog. And I've never seen one in my life. And they are real.
I think I have seen one, they're massive.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like big. Like Labrador big.
Might need to look
maybe even bigger. I don't think I've met one though. Like I've seen one.
Like you never just see someone walking a Dalmatian down the street.
You 100% don't. I bet there's places where they're slightly more popular though, like in America maybe. But Yeah.
Yeah, imagine finding out that I'm getting a dog and you're like, oh, what breed? I'm like, oh, it's a Dalmatian. You'd be like, what?
I'd be like, no, I'd be like, cool. Don't see those very often.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas like, if you told me that 2 years ago, that you were getting a Dalmatian, I'd be like...
You'd be like, yeah, and I'm getting a unicorn.
I'm getting a reindeer.
Mate, reindeers
are real, yeah. But like, the flying, they don't fly. Wait, what's not? There's something about reindeers that aren't real.
They don't have red noses.
No.
That's just Rudolph, that is. And then, no, obviously they don't fly.
There's something about reindeer. Is it that they can't fly?
Yeah, I think that is literally it. That they're obviously not magic.
Yeah.
And they're not pulling a sleigh. I think that's
so
it.
Dalmatians are real. Not even recently, a few months ago I went on to the menstrual cup instead of tampons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that can result in a prolapsed cervix.
Right.
So apparently the suction from pulling out the cup can literally like just pull your vagina out. Yeah, so there was a girl whose cervix prolapsed and she went to the doctors and they were like, have you had a kid before? She was like, no. And from the state of her vagina, it looked like that.
Oh my, I was going to say it can happen when you've had a kid.
Yeah, and apparently the nurse was just like kind of acting like she didn't really believe her, like she was like as if the girl that had gone in was embarrassed that she'd had a kid and was lying that she'd had a kid. That's how the nurse was reacting, like, oh okay, sure, like you've not had a kid. Because her vagina was that messed up from the menstrual cup.
So you're still using it?
Still use it. There's just ways to get around it. Like obviously if you're like taking the menstrual cup out, it has this suction. If you're like pulling it and like letting the suction like really go into full force, that is how you're going to end up with your prolapsed cervix. But if you break the suction before you pull it out, that's a better way to keep your vagina intact. But obviously it doesn't happen that often. Like I feel like, you know, when people have these horror stories about like different birth control and stuff like that, it's only one in so many. And you know, the chances are usually you're going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously if you're yanking it out aggressively.
Yeah, she was clearly doing something else.
Yeah.
Next one, that James Dean and James Dean are two different people.
So the James Dean I know is the actor.
Yeah.
White shirt, blue jeans, like Lana Del Rey talks about.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift mentions him. You got the daydream, James Dean looking. Yeah. So, right. I think that song came out when I was like 16. And I'd only known of one James Dean.
Who's the other though?
And it was not the one you're talking about.
Oh. So you thought Taylor Swift was singing about the James Dean, a different James Dean?
A different James Dean.
Right, who is that?
That's a porn star.
So you thought Taylor Swift was talking about a porn star called James Dean?
So I remember when that song came out and I was like, wait, did she just say James Dean as in like the male adult actor James Dean? And I remember looking up the lyrics and being like, what?
I mean, maybe.
And I was like, it's weird, like porn stars don't usually get this recognition. Like, this is great.
You're like, great, we're breaking the stigma in the sex industry. Not that you were thinking
and
that.
then I learned that actually James Dean was some vintage actor from back in the day.
Vintage?
So
that is so funny. That just shows like a difference in like generations, I guess. But I don't know
the porn star's been around.
I don't think as long as James Dean.
Not for as long as James Dean. But actually, the Dean is spelled two different ways. I think one of them's double E and one of them's EA. But yeah, it's funny because these porn stars that are naming themselves after actors are just getting me all confused because there's Johnny Depp as well. But that's
I don't even know any porn stars, so...
Oh, I love the porn industry.
It's not love or hate, I just don't know anyone's names, but clearly...
You can't name one porn star.
And Paul.
Is that it?
I don't know, from TikTok. Michaela test. I actually can't. No. I can now, Johnny Depp and James Dean. Look them up when I get home.
Yeah, it's just funny because you just forget, like, obviously porn, it's like this massive billion-dollar business.
Yeah.
And yet, like, the people in it aren't actually that famous or recognised as, like, outside of the industry.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's
that all of it?
That's everything I've learned in, like, the past month.
Fab. Well, shall we move on to our affirmation of the week?
Sure.
So, let's go for don't adapt to the energy in every room, influence every room. So, I think for me, looking back into 2022, I would go into a room or go somewhere and I would change myself to match whatever the energy is in the room. The energy could be sad, then I'm feeling sad. The energy could be hype, then I'm hype even if I don't have the energy to be hype. No, you decide what your energy is going to be that day and just make sure you're that all day.
They say if you find yourself in a room constantly trying to impress people, then you're in the wrong room.
Ooh.
And it's reminding me, I've wanted to bring this up before, but I just thought, no, I don't know what made me change my mind, but Liam Payne. Right? Stick with me. So, this guy has admitted to being a social chameleon before.
Right.
That he adapts. That's why when he did his interview after the Oscars, he sounded so different and weird, because he said that at the time he was living with, like, people from he'd been hanging around with people from Germany and, like, all these different places, and he adapts to, like, the people around him, so he picked up these, like, different accents and blended them all together, and then it came out in the interview. Right. And then also you see when he went on the Impulsive podcast that they were all trying to, like, gear him up, and then he ended up saying some really ridiculous things because he just is admitted to being a social chameleon, like, he can go into any room and just, like, adapt. Now, I used to think that that is such a good, like, trait to have, like, you're flexible and you can, like, impress people and stuff like that, but actually no. The people that can unapologetically be themselves in any social situation, they're the people that you want to be more like.
Yeah, I agree. And whatever themselves is, I actually saw this TikTok where this woman, she was talking about different stuff. She was talking about, like, being yourself with a man and trying to find a husband, trying to find a long-term partner. And she was saying, if you're a bitch, be a bitch. Because some men want a bitch. Some men are at work all day telling people what to do, and they want to come home and have someone tell them what to do, and they want a bitch that's going to get shit done and say exactly what she means. Not everyone's going to want that. Not every man, woman, whatever is going to want that. But you basically need to be yourself, because if, for example, in terms of getting into a relationship, someone will be out there that wants that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about being like a sociopath. I feel like that might be different. But someone will be out there that wants a sociopath.
Yeah.
Love and Joe from you.
True.
Someone out there.
Someone out there for everyone. I mean, I wasn't really going down, like, the relationship.
No, but I just mean that, like, that's why it's important to be yourself, because you will attract the right people for you. So that could be, doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be friendships. It can be jobs. But if you're sat there pretending to be someone else, like, I'm sure so many people have been to interviews and wanted a job and sat there and really, really pretended to be someone else, the person that's right for that job, but it's not them at all. And then they'll get into the job and they're like, oh, wait a minute, this is not for me. I hate all these people that I work with, and I hate this job, and blah, 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 because, you know, they've not acted as themselves. And obviously that also comes down to, who are you? And really taking that time at some point in your life, more than one point to be fair, but thinking, who am I as a person? Who do I like to exist as? What energy do I want to have? What energy makes me feel good? And if that's a hype energy, then be hype. Don't be scared of being loud and over the top. And then, but if that's a chilled energy, then be chill. And if you go into a hype room and you want to be chill, still be chill.
Find who you are and stick with it.
Yeah. Cool.
I think, oh, I thought this thing had stopped recording then. Yeah, I think, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, so I wanted to share an experience that I had one time where I went into this social situation and and everyone was so loud. Like, we were the loudest table in the bar. And I felt like I had to, like, match that energy. Now, I'm a loud person. I can be loud. But this was, like, another level of, like, people were looking over because it was just absolute mayhem. And this was, like, 11 a.m. So I'm trying to match this energy. I'm being loud. Like, I'm having a really good time, but I can literally just feel, like, my social battery being strung out of me, like, every single ounce
just
drained,
like leaking.
Yeah. And then, I did have a good time, but then these same people asked me to come out again. And I said no, because I just didn't have it in me to do it again.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't myself.
Yeah. But yeah, that's happened to me as well, where I go out with certain people, and that is a big theme of my 2022-2021 life, was that I was spending time with people and not being my true self. Because when lockdown came, I had the opportunity to have a lot of time on my own and really be myself. And then when it came to going out in social situations again, I had to then turn this Ayesha on that everybody knows and loves, to be fair, but that isn't actually me. And don't get me wrong, I have the louder side to me, but I think people expect that, and they expect me to run the whole social situation, from organising to bringing the energy to directing the conversations. Yeah,
and that becomes part of, like, why they're then inviting you. So then you're under this pressure to keep up this act that isn't actually you. Sometimes you just want to be chilled.
Yeah. And it's at the point where it exhausted me, and it really got to me a lot the second half of last year, because I felt like the people in my life didn't actually know me. And this even came down to, like, people that are close, well, it was people that are close to me. I didn't feel like they genuinely knew me, because they probably think I've changed, but I actually haven't changed. I've just become more myself.
Yeah.
Which is another interesting quote. You don't change, you just become more yourself.
Just become more yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, shall we move on to our planet problem? Your planet problems. Every time we say it wrong, it's almost...
It's because we name them too similar. Your planet problem... No, it was like the planet problems and our planet problems. Why couldn't we just call them, like, anything else, like anything just different from each other?
I've got no idea. Right. Okay, so if you want to email in, please email planetsandproblems@gmail.com. Send us your questions, send us your stories. We will give you advice. We will go in depth on your zodiac signs if you would like us to. And yeah, and thank you to everyone that has written in so far. I'm a Scorpio girl and so in love with a Cancer man. I don't know what to do, man. So, yeah, do you have any advice, maybe?
Why does it read like that? So, obsessed with a Scorpio man. No, obsessed with a Cancer man.
Scorpio girl, obsessed with a Cancer. So in love with a Cancer man. Well, first of all, you're a Scorpio, so of course you're so in love. The level
of extremity,
yes, that will probably be involved in this love that you've got. Yeah, it'll be verging on obsession, I'm guessing.
The great thing is that Cancer can match that energy, but we've not been given enough information as to whether they are in love together.
What, whether the Cancer man is in love as well? That's true.
Or is it implied?
But this person's saying, so in love with the Cancer man, I don't know what to do. So I'm guessing the Cancer man's No.
If you're both in love, you're not thinking, oh my god, we're both so in love, what do I do?
Well,
so, yeah.
I guess the advice that we can give can be about, right, how are we going to get this Cancer man to be in love with the Scorpio?
What? Oh, is it not going to be like, oh, how do we turn down this, you know, what's the word, like, when you over admire something, people say it about celebrities.
Worship.
Yeah, basically. And this over worshipping of Cancer men.
So
we were going in two different directions.
We've got two sets of advice to give you.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some advice about how do we get the Cancer man to fall in love with you. So I'll start.
Okay.
I think what you need to do is actually dial it down slightly, because a Cancer can be, not, I wouldn't say as extreme as a Scorpio, but they've got the emotion there. So what you want to do is dial it down slowly, just act a little bit nonchalant and bring your Scorpio mystery into this, so that it makes them feel like, oh, who's this person? I want to know more about them. I want to be with them. I want to be close to them. I want to be around them. Bring that element into it, and then that will draw them in. That's my advice.
Okay.
Once they're in love, they're in love.
So my theory is that people that like Cancers have mental illnesses.
Oh, wow. Okay, go on, please.
Hear me out, okay? We're just gonna have to get through this together. Mothering.
Yep. So they like the mothering nature.
Caring, supportive, especially like in a male figure.
Okay.
Right? It's giving daddy issues.
It's giving mummy issues, actually. They're requiring them with the...
Well, you know, if like someone's maternal, isn't that for like both ways? Like, there's no such thing as like paternal, is there? Or like dad-ternal.
Yeah, I know, but I think that when you go into like the gender, the masculine, feminine, you get different things from each parent.
Right.
So like, from the more, whether it's a man or a woman, but from the more masculine parent, you're gonna get like an element of safety and being looked after financially and being taken care of in the physical way. Mm-hmm. Whereas I would say from the feminine, from the mother, you would get the mental and emotional side and the nurturing side. Yeah. So I think it is different. I would say the Cancer, whether it is a man or a woman, will have that natural motherly side.
What I'm saying is the people that are attracted to that are lacking something within their childhood. Yeah.
So how are you going to get this person to dial down? You're telling them that they need to dial down.
Go to therapy.
Wow.
Scorpio. Figure it out.
I am so sorry.
Go to therapy, figure it out, and then get yourself a nice mature Taurus or something.
Oh, I don't know about Taurus, but...
Definitely not a Taurus for Scorpio, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know, so maybe someone grounded.
Don't be going after Cancers just for the sake of like, replacing what you're missing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what it is that you love about them. Because if it is that, what you're talking about, then yeah, that might be an issue. But how do we get a Scorpio? Because the thing is with Scorpios that I know is that they become obsessed, they become in love, and they might love you forever, or they do just get over it one day. So there will be something about this person, if you do want to move on, that can give you the ick. You know there will be. It's happened to you before. So you need to just find the thing that gives you the ick about them, and the Scorpio will never be bothered about this person ever again.
Okay.
So that's what you need to do as well. Cool.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
Thank you for writing in. So I met this guy. He's a Leo sun, Scorpio rising, and Taurus moon. I'm a Libra sun, Leo rising, and Aries moon. I'm a man, by the way. We flirted, we kissed twice, but then he went ghost and I can't get over him. Any help, lol? And quick, serious question, based on my big three, why do I keep attracting Virgos, lol?
Okay, let's take this one step at a time. Let's get the partner's big three first.
So the partner's big three is Leo sun, Scorpio rising, Taurus moon. Wow.
That's bold. That's insane. Leo sun.
Yeah.
Taurus moon.
Yeah.
You've got some character.
This is the guy that the other guys met. So this isn't the guy that's written in. This is the guy that he fancies.
Well, yeah, you're gonna fall, 'cause Leo, you've already got that flirty, confident side that a lot of people find attractive, especially in men. Taurus moon, Taurus, you know, Venus, love. Like, there's obviously going to be some romantic connection there. And then Scorpio rising, you know, that first impression, the mystery, it's enticing, you want to know more. That is a solid big three.
Yeah, I was going to say that about definitely with that Scorpio rising, because that's how people see you, as your rising sign to start off with. So to have that, and then, like you said, the actual confidence of the Leo and the enticing side, yeah, I imagine that would be hard to get over, because you've met this person that, in your eyes, probably like, right, this person's fantastic, this person's amazing. You're like, not even necessarily falling for them, but what's that word where you're like, infatuated.
Right.
You're like, you become like infatuated with this type of person, and then next minute you're like, they're gone, they've ghosted you, and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just want that personality back. So let's just have a look at what they are. So they're a Libra sun, Leo rising, and Aries moon.
Less impressive.
They've got the same rising, so this guy's rising sign is the other guy's sun sign, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So I imagine that they probably did get on quite well, actually.
Yeah.
So it is sad, but the Libra sun is probably why you feel so you don't like being ghosted, because you need that level of attention with the Libra sun. Did I say Libra? Libra sun is why you don't like this ghosting sense, because the level of attention that you actually require is a lot. So yeah, I imagine that plays a big part. But at the end of the day, when they've ghosted you, what can you do?
I think you have to have a certain genetical trait to be a ghoster, because how do you just wake up one morning and become the type of person that ghosts someone?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different types of ghosters, because I'm 100% a ghoster.
What?
I'm a ghoster, but I am not.
What with no. Right, let's get the definition of ghost.
Yeah.
Correct.
Go.
Right, I saw this TikTok video. This girl, she went on this date. She said that he wasn't the best looking guy. He's a short king, and but he was funny. So she gave him a chance. They went on this date. They had the best date ever. The chemistry was there. They even went back together. He even like woke up the next morning, like drove her somewhere. Like he didn't have to do any of that. They said that the chemistry was beautiful. He dropped her off the next day at work or wherever she was going. She never heard from him again. That is a true ghost.
I disagree.
No, it's not.
I disagree.
With whatever you're about to say, no, it's not.
The reason why I disagree is because every single first date that I have ever been on, that person thinks it's the best date that they've ever had. Because of the way
you can't fake it.
My Leo rising in there, like, brings a certain type of energy to a first date. And because I'm quite an adaptable person, I've worked in sales, I can get on with pretty much everyone. And obviously on a first date, I'm going to make this effort to get on with this person, whether I like them or not. So I could easily go on a date and have this amazing chemistry, go back with them, and have no intention of taking it any further and ghost them. That's the type of ghost.
What, not even say, like, oh, sorry, this didn't work out.
Because these are the different types of ghosters that I think exist. There is a ghoster that if you've been on 1 date or 2 dates and you get ghosted, that is still ghosting, but that's because you've only just met, the person doesn't owe you a big speech. Yeah. Even if you've slept together, whatever happens, that person does not owe you a big speech as to why you don't want to listen.
No one's asking for a big speech.
Well,
just anything.
No, I just think
this isn't working out. Bye.
So that's how I've ghosted people quite a few times from first and second date, where they think we've had a great time. They've said, can't wait to take you out again. I've said, yeah, sounds good.
That's another point. The girl that was talking in the video, they were making plans for the future together.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
All this time I've been sat next to a ghoster.
Let's do Alton Towers. Oh, should we do the Caribbean in April?
Kidding. What's wrong with you? You're a monster. What? So you're going out on dates. They're feeling the chemistry, you're not, but you're just leading them on anyway for the sake of it. You're laughing together, you're having a good time. Oh yeah, let's do this next time. Oh, in 3 weeks I'm going here, you should come with me, you'd love it.
I've never felt like this before, me neither.
Fuck off. And then you're leaving that date and never to be seen again.
Right, so I think, yes, that is what I am doing.
What, are you blocking or?
Do you know what, sometimes I'll even text them for a couple of days after.
No, that's not a true ghoster.
But then ignore, just stop.
Oh wait, so you'll be messaging like everything's fine?
Yeah. So, but I'll do that, or and usually I'll block. If it's been more than like 4 dates, they'll get some feedback.
Yeah, I feel like that's where men have the audacity. So it'll be months.
This is the second type of ghoster that I'm about to mention, is the ghoster that ghosts after months, years, whatever. That genuinely, you've met up so many times, you've been doing stuff, you've been planning stuff, you might not have put a label on it, you might have put a label on it, and all of a sudden you just never hear from them again. I've had that happen to me, to be fair, where I think we were dating, and this obviously is not a long time, but we were dating for about a month, and we did know each other prior to that month. So we were dating, we'd met up multiple times, we'd slept together, weren't necessarily planning for the future, but we were really getting on. They went on holiday for Christmas. This is a Taurus, by the way. They went on holiday for Christmas, and they're on holiday, it's Christmas. Now don't get me wrong, I wasn't being loyal to this person at this point, you know, I was doing my own thing, but we were dating. All of a sudden, they called me when they got there. I think you were around at this point, not even never been around, but like I remember being with you at Christmas. I'm trying
to remember, yeah.
The lecturer.
Oh right.
And he called me.
Like you were around at this point. That's literally when we started becoming friends.
We were friends before that, because this was like my graduation year.
And then I turned like, I was turning like 18, and then we actually started becoming friends. Yeah, go on.
So. Yeah, he's called me, he's on the holiday, he's called me, we've had a full conversation, Merry Christmas, blah, 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 blah. Then after that phone call, I never heard a thing.
Did you not get, like, the vibe?
No.
That's the worst.
No vibe.
Good, actually, because...
Do I deserve
you've
it?
Done it, yeah.
I haven't done it to that many people. But
once is enough. I've not done it once. I never could. There's not an ounce of anything in me that could ever.
This is why I think it happens. And this is why I probably do it, and why people probably do it after months as well, is a fear of confrontation. Because they do not want, And that could stem from whatever.
Yeah,
Who knows why you've got the fear of confrontation. But I 100% have a fear of confrontation. Also, I don't feel like I owe people anything. But the people that are doing it after months probably don't want to have that conversation. So they're like, right, let me just block. And they might have been pretending and faking it, and they probably for a few months before were thinking, oh, actually, I don't want to be with this person, I don't like this person for, it could be, you know, the last week they've been thinking that. That's how people get blindsided. People get blindsided into breakups in relationships all the time. It happens all the time. But these people don't like confrontation, so rather than having a sit-down conversation with you or a text, where when you've got the fear of confrontation, it's not you saying it, it's what are they going to say back. And it's
I didn't know it was that.
And because you're going to have the people that you'll say that to. Oh, yeah, I know we've been dating a few months, and I did think I really liked you, but honestly, I've been feeling a bit weird the past few days, and I just don't think you're my person. Let's leave it here. You're going to have those people, or you're going to have the people that are saying, why? I think this has been going really well. Let's just meet up one more time. And don't tell me those people don't exist.
No, I'm not
because there's a person that I know that has had that exact situation.
I've been that person.
Yeah, I think I've probably been that person. But that was with a relationship breakup though. It wasn't like dating. But yeah, obviously it happens to people in relationships as well, they get ghosted. But yeah, so you've got those two types of people, and I think the fear of confrontation for these ghosters is that second type of person that is an absolute fear for having to do this back and forth, and eventually you just have to stop replying anyway. So there's actually no point. But I think on the other side of it, it must be difficult to not have the just the not closure, but first of all, are they dead? That is the first question for anyone that's got anxiety in the 21st century. Because that was my query.
It's literally that, like, how can you just drop off the face of the fucking earth?
That was my query with this guy that ghosted me, was I'm actually concerned for this person's well-being. No.
Oh, so you would have been undelivered?
Yeah. And I'm just calling and calling and calling. And then, like, messaging and like adding them on Facebook, and then like in the end
you message someone that you both knew, or
yeah, in the end I got my friend to message them just to make sure they were all right.
It's such a humbling experience.
Now don't get me wrong, this girl here was not depressed. This girl, as soon as before he'd even got to the airport, I'm not even going to say that, but it wasn't like I wasn't exclusive to this person, but I did like them. So it wasn't a case of, oh, I'm depressed because like this person in the question. It's not like that. But it was just like, right, genuinely, are they alive? Yes or no? Because if they're not, I don't know what I can do about it. But I just wanted to, you know, make sure. Now, there's actually a comedian, just a very quick story, a comedian that, they have a podcast, Guys We Fucked, and she was saying that she met this guy, it was years ago now, and she, like, really liked him, they got on so well, they planned their first date, and he died before they actually got there. So the day that he was supposed to go to first date, he didn't turn up because he died.
That's unacceptable.
She was like, that was a true ghosting. She got like, she actually got ghosted. So
because he's dead.
Yeah, and he's a ghost. Sorry, we're genuinely not laughing at the fact that he's dead. We're genuinely laughing at that joke that she made because she's fucking funny. She's called Corinne Fisher. She's hilarious. And yeah, so shall we? I hope that helped, and I hope that you can like understand that to be honest, that is probably the fact that you were ghosted is probably part of the reason why you still want them, because it was a bit like, oh, it was going so well, I was really liking them, what's happened? You know, you almost want that answer, don't you?
Be humbled, heal, one more H, and
raise hell.
And hope.
Oh, see how the difference between us. So the second part of the question though, and quick serious question.
Okay.
And quick serious question, based on my big three, why do I keep attracting Virgos? So their big three is a Libra sun, Leo rising, Aries moon. Okay, first of all, before this one says anything, I am a Virgo who attracts Libras, and you are a Libra who attracts Virgos. That could be because you, as an air sign, I think I might have said this before.
Yeah, we love this one.
Yeah, you're an air sign, flying all over the place, you know, floating. Just floating, your head's a bit everywhere, everything's a mess.
Up in the air.
Yeah, the Virgo comes and grounds you. They bring you down to earth. Yeah. And that, like, not calm in nature, but I guess stability nature that they have will feel quite nice to you, but also the opposite way around. So the reason why you're attracting Virgos is because they are so grounded. I don't want to use the word boring, but you know, you can verge on boring, you know, in terms of like how they are and how they exist, that you bring a bit more of a less stability, and they probably like that as well. So that's why you keep attracting Virgos. But also attracting the same sign can be to do with you actually needing to work through some issues with that sign.
Really? I wasn't going there.
Some of the traits of that sign, you need to like learn some lessons. Based on, is that what you were going to say? You need to learn some lessons based on the sign. So just, I can't even think of a quick example, can you?
Well, maybe what I was talking about with like cancers.
Yeah.
If you're constantly attracting cancers, then you've got some issues. You need to be your own support.
Yeah. Really basic stereotypical one for a Virgo, but Libras often are a mess, and the Virgos could be like, obviously Virgos are known for being quite organised, so this could be like a non-serious one, but yeah, they might want to actually you might want to learn to be a bit more organised and a bit less messy. That could be an example, but you will know for yourself. So that's something that you need to think about, is like, what is it about? So if you don't like the fact that you keep attracting Virgos, what's triggering you? And there's your answer. What's triggering you about the Virgos? Because if you loved Virgos, it wouldn't bother you that you're attracting Virgos. But if you don't like that you're attracting a certain type of sign, something is triggering you.
Yeah, they're after something that you're not prepared to give. They're draining something out of you.
Yeah, and that's what you need to work on. So, but thank you for writing in.
Oh, bloody hell. Shall we move on?
Yeah, we'll move on to question at week, shall we? Who's got one?
I've got one.
Oh,
do you want
great.
to?
You go.
Okay, I'll do. This isn't a quick one, but I don't want this to go on for too long. So this question that I've got: what's your perfect roundup? Do you know what a roundup is?
No.
Like, I don't know if it's actually called a roundup. I might have got this terminology wrong. Basically, when you're smoking weed and like who are you smoking with? Who you're passing a joint with?
How come I've never heard of that?
Don't know. So yeah, you understand now. What's your perfect roundup? But it can only be with men, dead or alive. Go.
Oh my god, men.
I knew you'd have 0 men.
Can I just do it on my own?
No.
It's me.
No, you've got to have 5.
Okay. This is a really hard question for me, and this will be something that I'll talk about next episode as well. But basically, I have a complex with men, and I don't want to say I don't like men, but I really struggle with them. So
then you'll go and say, oh, but most of my friends are male.
Yeah, it's so weird. But then, like, I just don't find the general man that I'm not friends with and that's not related to me, I don't find them interesting. So, like, so for example, I don't really have any celebrity men that I could even think of that I'm like, who I would have. So I'll start off.
You can, it doesn't have to be so serious.
No. But I mean, I can't even think of non-serious, mate.
Ferb from Phineas and Ferb.
Okay. Oh, right, fine. Right. My brother. Sorry, but come on.
You should never smoke in his life. He has quite a serious
yeah, we'll get some
asthma.
Oh yeah, no, that's
He's really asthmatic. He should not be in that roundup.
He can have a brownie.
Okay.
My brother, my boyfriend, and then we're gonna go Rick from Rick and Morty.
God.
Then we're gonna go, what's his name? Fucking, I've got 3. What's his name from You? Penn. The guy from You. Joe.
Oh, but the actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penn, is it Penn Badgley?
Yeah.
Penn Badgley. Because I don't know if you've seen him online, but he seems funny and he's really interesting. And yeah, I'd love to talk to him about the character of Joe because I'm boring like that. Then...
Is he going to want to talk about it? Imagine he's there and he's like, you know, I actually relate to the character so much. Okay, that's 4.
And then, I've got 2. I've got 2 more then.
Oh, go on.
Because then we're gonna also have Joe from You. So we're gonna have Penn Badgley and we're gonna have Joe.
Okay.
Then last. There's 6 of us, it's going to need to be a big spliff, but we will have, God, I am such a nerd, but George R.R. Martin, which is the person that wrote Game of Thrones.
Alright.
Because I would love to, like, because I've only read, like, the first book, and they're so big, so I would love to, like, know the rest of the books, like what happened in detail.
So you don't have to read it?
Without having to read it.
Okay.
Imagine being told the story of Game of Thrones. Hi, that'd be lovely.
Okay.
The real story as well. Like, I want to know, like, what else happened, and you know, blah 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 blah. Yeah. So that's mine. What's yours?
Oh, I didn't want to answer.
Oh.
I'm still in my head. I think about this a lot.
Right. So I've had to quickly come up with these.
Yeah,
people
but yours felt really like structured and well thought out.
I thought of it in about 2 minutes, and honestly, the first time I just wanted to pick my dad, my brother, my boyfriend, and your boyfriend.
Mine would be all people I don't know, like all celebrities. I know that for sure.
The reason why I've got people in there that I know is because the 2 people that I know, my brother, even though my brother's only young, my brother and my boyfriend are so good at having like deep convos that I feel like they would accentuate this conversation that we're all having.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm not just thinking of, oh, who do I want to speak to? I'm thinking of what would make an interesting vibe. So I'm bringing the energy of the people that I know
that's why I'm not ready to share mine yet, because you've really gone into the specifics of this perfect spliff roundup, right? Whereas like I need to come together and figure out, right, okay, what is this person going to bring and get out of this person that me alone and the other people around us couldn't necessarily do by ourselves. You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not ready to share mine until it's properly executed. So I'm gonna get back to you.
Okay, well I'll ask you in a few more episodes, but make sure you think about someone that can actually roll.
Exactly, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so, because I can't.
So many factors.
Exactly. Like, where are we at? Who's got the best gaff?
Gaffer in London. No, we'll definitely ask you that because I'm ready for this well thought out answer. But
Okay.
I think that's it for this week.
All right.
Thank you for listening. I'm Ayesha.
I'm Atalia.
I'm a Virgo.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Almost said that I'm a Sagittarius, but we'll see.
Maybe one day you will be.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.